He had millions in the bank, but nowhere to sit on New Year's Eve at T42. A powerful CEO stood outside a full restaurant, invisible in a room full of people. Just as he turned to leave, a stranger did something unexpected. She didn't know his name. She didn't know his status. She just waved, and that single, quiet gesture changed everything. Michael Bennett's story dismantles one of society's most persistent myths, that success protects against loneliness. From the outside, Michael's life appears complete. He is wealthy, respected, disciplined, and powerful. Yet on New Year's Eve, a night designed to celebrate connection, he finds himself without a place to sit, without a person waiting for him, and without a sense of belonging. This contrast is not accidental. It's the emotional core of the story. Loneliness here isn't dramatic or loud. It's quiet, polite, and socially acceptable. Michael isn't abandoned. He's simply uninvited by life itself. His isolation didn't come from rejection, but from years of postponing connection in favor of productivity. The story shows how loneliness can slowly become normalized when independence is mistaken for strength and emotional self-reliance becomes a badge of honor. What makes Michael's loneliness powerful is that no one caused it intentionally. Friends moved on, life filled up, traditions formed without him. This reflects a real-world truth. Loneliness often isn't about being unwanted. It's about being unprioritized, including by oneself. Michael didn't lose relationships through conflict. He lost them through neglect and delay. The restaurant scene crystallizes this reality. Surrounded by people, noise, and celebration, Michael feels more alone than he would in silence. This highlights how loneliness intensifies when contrast is sharp, when everyone else seems to belong somewhere. His success offers no comfort in this moment because success cannot substitute emotional intimacy. Ultimately, the story argues that loneliness is not a personal failure, nor a lack of achievement. It's the absence of shared life. And without intentional effort to build that, even the most accomplished people can find themselves standing alone at a closed door. The most pivotal moment in the story is not a dramatic confession or a life-altering decision. It's a simple wave. Hannah doesn't deliver a speech, intervene loudly, or demand attention. She notices Michael and chooses to acknowledge him. That's all. Yet that single act becomes the hinge on which the entire narrative turns. This highlights a powerful truth. Kindness doesn't need scale to have impact. Hannah's gesture costs her nothing materially, but it requires emotional awareness. She sees someone on the edge of isolation and chooses inclusion instead of indifference. Importantly, she doesn't know Michael's status, wealth, or story. Her kindness is unconditional, free of expectation or reward. For Michael, the wave shatters a belief he didn't realize he held, that he was invisible unless he was useful or impressive. Being invited without qualification unsettles him more than rejection ever could. It confronts him with the idea that connection can be offered, not earned. The story also emphasizes how rare this kind of kindness is in adult life. Children often include instinctively, but adults tend to calculate. Hannah does not. Her children reinforce this instinctive compassion, treating Michael's presence as natural rather than strange. Their openness amplifies the power of the moment. What makes the act transformative is timing. Michael was already preparing to leave, not just the restaurant, but the possibility of connection altogether. The kindness interrupts his pattern at the exact moment he's most vulnerable. That's often how real change begins, not with readiness, but with interruption. The message is clear. We never know when a small act may arrive at the precise moment someone is deciding whether to give up or stay open. Compassion doesn't need to change the world. Sometimes it just needs to change one night, and that can change a life. Michael's greatest internal conflict arises from the way he has learned to contribute to the world. As a CEO, his value has always been tied to what he provides: solutions, resources, money, structure. When he enters Hannah's life, he initially tries to offer the same thing. But this environment operates under different rules. Hannah doesn't need fixing. Her children don't need grand gestures. What they need is stability, predictability, and emotional safety. The story carefully shows how Michael's instinct to do more actually creates tension. His offers, though generous, risk overwhelming the delicate balance Hannah has worked hard to maintain. This becomes a critical lesson. Provision without presence is hollow. Michael must learn that showing up doesn't mean improving circumstances. It means participating in them, sitting through homework, listening to repetitive stories, being bored without escaping. These are not tasks that earn praise or status, yet they are foundational to real connection. The children sense this shift before adults do. They respond not to what Michael gives, but to how consistently he appears. Their trust grows as he stops trying to impress and starts simply staying. This illustrates a deeper truth. Emotional security is built through reliability, not intensity. For Michael, this requires unlearning decades of conditioning. He must accept that his worth at this table isn't measured by contribution, but by presence. This challenges his identity more than any professional setback ever could. The story ultimately reframes success. True value is not what you add, but how you accompany. Not how you lead, but how you listen. And in learning this, Michael discovers a form of fulfillment his achievements never gave him. One of the most mature aspects of the story is Hannah's insistence on boundaries. She welcomes Michael's kindness but refuses to let it blur into emotional confusion, especially where her children are concerned. This is not rejection, it is protection. Hannah understands that children attach quickly and suffer deeply when consistency disappears. Her boundary setting isn't about mistrust. It's about responsibility. She recognizes that even good intentions can cause harm if they create false expectations. This awareness reflects emotional intelligence born from experience and loss. For Michael, this is a turning point. He is used to feedback in professional settings, where criticism is transactional and impersonal. Hannah's boundary, however, is relational. It forces him to confront how his actions affect others, not just how they reflect his intentions. What's powerful is that the boundary doesn't end the connection. It reshapes it. Hannah doesn't ask Michael to leave. She asks him to slow down and be honest. This transforms kindness from impulse into commitment. It also gives Michael space to grow rather than retreat. The story makes an important statement. Boundaries are not walls. They are frameworks that allow trust to develop safely. Without them, generosity becomes destabilizing. With them, Relationships gain clarity and resilience. Michael's response, choosing distance instead of defensiveness, marks his emotional growth. He learns that respect sometimes looks like restraint, that staying doesn't always mean closeness, and that love, in its healthiest form, honors limits in a world that often romanticizes unconditional availability. The story argues something more grounded. Real connection thrives where boundaries are spoken, respected, and maintained. Michael's deepest transformation comes when he stops trying to define his role. Early on, he unconsciously seeks placement: provider, protector, partner. But belonging in this story is not assigned. It emerges organically through time, consistency, and humility. The children become the quiet judges of this process. Maya, especially, measures trust not by words but by repetition. She watches who stays, who leaves, and who adapts. Michael learns that belonging isn't something you ask for, it's something others decide over time. This challenges a cultural narrative that equates belonging with immediacy. The story rejects that. It shows that real belonging is slow, sometimes uncomfortable, and often undefined. Michael must tolerate ambiguity without retreating or forcing clarity. Hannah also models this patience. She allows relationships to exist without labels or promises. By introducing Michael to her sister transparently, she avoids emotional ambiguity while preserving honesty. This prevents resentment and preserves dignity for everyone involved. Michael's growth is evident in his acceptance of this uncertainty. A year earlier, not knowing where he stood would have terrified him. Now it grounds him. He understands that belonging is not ownership. It's participation. By the final New Year's Eve, Michael is no longer a guest trying to earn his place. He's simply present, and that presence, repeated over time, has become its own proof. The story ultimately teaches that belonging is not seized in moments of intensity. It's built quietly, through staying when nothing dramatic is happening. And that kind of belonging lasts. Michael's emotional evolution doesn't come from confidence or action. It comes from restraint. The hardest moments for him are not the lonely ones, but the ones where he must resist old habits. Sitting with uncertainty, not fixing, not defining outcomes. This discomfort is unfamiliar territory. In business, uncertainty is something to be resolved. In relationships, it must often be endured. Michael learns that growth isn't about mastery, it's about tolerance. Tolerance for ambiguity, vulnerability, and emotional risk. The story carefully shows how Michael chooses discomfort repeatedly. He steps back when asked. He listens instead of advising. He accepts that he may not be chosen in the way he once hoped. These choices don't feel empowering in the moment, but they reshape him deeply. Importantly, the story doesn't reward him with certainty or romantic resolution. Instead, it gives him something better: emotional alignment. He becomes someone capable of connection without control. By the final scene, Michael stands outside in the cold, not alone, but reflective. The discomfort that once defined his loneliness now defines his growth. He understands that a meaningful life isn't free of doubt. It's lived alongside it. The core message is subtle but profound. Growth is not about becoming fearless. It's about staying present even when fear exists. Michael's new year doesn't begin with answers. It begins with readiness, and that readiness to remain open, connected, and honest is the story's quiet triumph.